These are 3 motor oils that will determine whether your engine ruins at 100,000 miles or survives past 300,000 miles. And here's the crazy part. The oil your manufacturer recommends isn't necessarily the one that protects best in the real world. We tested 0W-20, 5W-30 and 5W-40 in identical conditions with the same engine, same driving cycles and same service intervals. The results don't just matter, they challenge everything you thought you knew about motor oil selection. And you won't believe the winner. Let's start with what those numbers actually mean. Viscosity is simply how thick or thin the oil flows at different temperatures. That W stands for winter, and the number before it tells you how well the oil flows when your engine is cold. The number after the W tells you how thick it is when your engine is running hot. Think of it this way. 0W-20 means the oil is incredibly thin at cold temperatures. That 0 weight is the thinnest you can get. The 20 means that at full operating temperature, around 212 degrees Fahrenheit, it flows like a relatively light oil. Now compare that to 5W-30. The 5 weight means it's slightly thicker in the cold than 0W-20, but still flows well. That 30 means at operating temperature it's noticeably thicker and maintains more protective film between engine components. And it doesn't stop there. Engine oils naturally thicken as they cool and thin as they heat. You want thin oil at cold temperatures to reach critical engine parts quickly during startup. And that's when 75% of engine wear actually occurs due to insufficient lubrication. But you want thicker oil at operating temperature to maintain that protective film between metal surfaces under load. Let's talk about 0W-20, which is what most manufacturers recommend these days. Here's why. It delivers measurable fuel economy benefits. In testing, 0W-20 improved fuel economy by approximately 0.7 miles per gallon compared to thicker oils. During cold starts, 0W-20 reaches critical engine components 40% faster than 5W-30. It reduces friction throughout the engine by 12 to 18% compared to 5W-30. This looks like a clear win. The EPA loves this, your fuel tank loves this, but this is where everything changes. When we monitored oil temperature during the test, 0W-20 ran 8 to 12 degrees Fahrenheit, hotter than 5W-30 on average. Every degree matters inside an engine under load. By 7,500 miles, viscosity loss reached 13%. The oil was breaking down faster than the alternatives. When the lab analyzed the used oil, the results were unambiguous. 0W-20 showed the highest wear metals of all 3 oils tested. Higher iron content, higher copper content, the metals that shouldn't be floating around in your oil because they came off bearings, cylinder walls, and other critical components. Bearings showed more discoloration. Cam lobes retained a weaker oil film. Varnish deposits had accumulated on internal surfaces. Here's the manufacturer's dilemma. EPA fuel economy standards incentivize thin oils. Your vehicle needs to achieve a certain miles per gallon rating to pass regulatory requirements. That's why 0W-20 has become the default recommendation. It helps manufacturers meet those targets. Whether it's best for your engine's longevity is a different question entirely. Now we switch to 5W-30. The same engine, same driving cycle, same service intervals. The difference showed up immediately. Oil temperature dropped 6 to 9 degrees Fahrenheit. Viscosity loss stayed under 5% by 7,500 miles. The oil maintained better stability throughout the test period, but the critical finding came from the lab analysis. Wear metals dropped by 35 to 40% compared to 0W-20. That's confirmed lab data showing dramatically less engine wear. When we opened up the engine, 5W-30 told a different story. Bearings looked noticeably cleaner. Cam lobes retained stronger oil film protection. That protective layer between metal surfaces was visibly thicker and more consistent. Varnish deposits were reduced. The internal surfaces looked fresher, but wait until you hear this. With 5W-30, fuel economy dropped approximately 0.3 miles per gallon compared to 0W-20. That's less than 0.5% difference in most driving scenarios. If you drive 15,000 miles annually at current gas prices, we're talking about perhaps $30 to $40 per year in additional fuel costs. Meanwhile, your engine is experiencing 35 to 40% less wear. For high-mileage engines, vehicles over 100,000 miles, 5W-30 reduces oil consumption by about 40%. Worn clearances in older engines benefit from the thicker film strength. The heavier oil fills those gaps better, maintains pressure more effectively, and actually reduces the oil your engine burns through over time. The assessment from the testing was clear. 5W-30 operates at near optimal oil temperature. maintains the lowest overall wear balance, and provides the best everyday protection. It doesn't win on fuel economy, but it represents the sweet spot for long-term engine survival in normal driving conditions. Then we tested 5W-40, the heaviest of our three contenders. This oil showed best extreme heat stability. Under sustained load, long highway pulls, and high RPM operation, 5W-40 maintained excellent wear control. The lab analysis showed viscosity loss was almost non-existent, staying under 2% after 7,500 miles. Wear metals were extremely low, especially iron and copper. Here's the trade-off. 5W-40 showed marginally higher fuel dilution retention and slightly slower oil circulation during cold starts compared to 5W-30. Fuel economy difference was similar to 5W-30, about 0.3 miles per gallon lower than 0W-20, so minimal real-world impact. 5W-40 is the choice for specific driving conditions. If you tow regularly, track your vehicle, or drive aggressively, this oil protects better under extreme conditions. If you live in brutally hot climates where underhood temperatures routinely exceed 200 degrees Fahrenheit, 5W-40 maintains that protective film when thinner oils start to struggle. But for everyday driving, commuting, mixed city and highway, normal operating conditions, 5W-40 is honestly overkill. You get the protection benefits, but you're paying for performance you probably won't need. Here's where this gets genuinely important for modern vehicles. 0W-20 loses 30% of its viscosity above 250 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a critical threshold because turbochargers, which are increasingly common in modern engines, routinely run oil temperatures that exceed 300 degrees Fahrenheit at the turbo bearings. 5W-30 maintains 45% greater film thickness under severe conditions when oil temperatures exceed 260 degrees. That means during highway driving, mountain driving, or any sustained high RPM operation where your turbo is working hard, 5W-30 is maintaining better protection. In southwest regions where summer underhood temperatures exceed 200 degrees, drivers switching from 0W-20 to 5W-30 report 25% lower oil consumption during summer months. That's not a coincidence. It's the thicker oil maintaining better sealing and film strength in extreme heat. The question naturally arises, if 5W-30 provides better protection with minimal fuel economy penalty, why do manufacturers recommend 0W-20? The answer is EPA fuel economy standards. Vehicles must achieve specific miles per gallon ratings to pass regulatory requirements, and these standards get stricter every year. Thin oils like 0W-20 help manufacturers meet those targets. Using 0W-20 versus 5W-30 can mean the difference between passing and failing regulatory requirements. But here's what's important to understand. Using a heavier oil that your manufacturer doesn't explicitly recommend doesn't void your warranty in most cases, as long as the oil meets the same API specifications. You're making a different optimization choice, prioritizing long-term engine longevity over maximum fuel economy. That tension between corporate fuel economy metrics and long-term engine protection is real, and it explains why 0W-20, the manufacturer standard, delivered the best fuel economy, but also the highest wear metals and fastest viscosity breakdown. So what should you actually use? That depends on your specific situation. Use 5W-30 if you want maximum engine life, drive a mix of city and highway, live in moderate to hot climates, or plan to keep your vehicle long-term. For most car owners, 5W-30 is the intelligent choice. You get meaningful wear reduction, superior temperature management, and internal cleanliness benefits with essentially negligible fuel economy impact. If you keep your vehicle past 150,000 miles, this choice will compound in your favor over time. 0W-20 only if maximizing fuel economy is genuinely your priority. You drive short daily commutes with minimal engine stress, or you drive frequently in cold climates and value fast cold start lubrication. Even then, consider stepping up to 5W-30 if you plan to keep the vehicle long-term. The fuel economy trade-off over the vehicle's lifetime is negligible compared to the protection gains. Let's put some numbers on what happens when protection fails. Bearing damage from inadequate oil film strength costs between $4,000 and $8,000 to repair. That's engine rebuild territory. Turbocharger failure from oil starvation or inadequate film protection at high temperatures can cost $2,000 to $3,000 just for the component, not counting labor. Those aren't hypothetical costs, they're real repairs that happen to real engines running thin oils under demanding conditions where film strength breaks down.
Here's something that really matters for older vehicles. When engines exceed 100,000 miles, worn clearances between components increase. Those worn clearances need thicker oil to maintain proper pressure and film strength. High-mileage engines transitioning from 0W-20 to 5W-30 often experience immediate improvements in oil pressure, reduced oil consumption, and quieter operation. The thicker oil fills those worn clearances better, maintains pressure more effectively, and quiets lifter noise you might have forgotten was annoying. This is why fleet operators, people who measure maintenance costs across thousands of vehicles, often standardize on 5W-30 even when manufacturers recommend 0W-20. They've measured the difference, they know what protects better, they know what reduces unexpected failures. Your motor oil choice is one of the most consequential decisions you make about your vehicle, yet it receives almost no attention. You walk into an auto parts store, grab whatever's on sale or whatever someone told you to use, and install it without thinking about the actual performance trade-offs. But the testing shows something clear. 0W-20 optimizes for fuel economy at the expense of long-term protection. 5W-30 provides superior wear protection with minimal fuel economy penalty, making it the standout performer for long-term engine survival in everyday driving. 5W-40 specializes in extreme conditions where its extra protection is actually needed.